2.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9 on our YouTube pages and our Facebook page. But let's also bring in our stations as well on 102.7 Mom FM and now connected. Let's bring in Country 2 on Hot Country Hits 99.9. Good morning to you and you out there. And good morning to Jeff Mount, Superintendent of Schools for Mason County Central. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having us, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guy in the middle, for those that might be watching or listening on our Facebook pages and our YouTube channel, is Brian Parent. He is the new band director for Mason County Central. Jeff, what do you know about this guy?
Well, first off, big welcome to Brian. He's already hit the ground running because we've had marching band has kind of already happened with the 4th of July Freedom Festival in Ludington, and we were well represented under Brian's leadership and direction. But yeah, Brian comes with almost 17 years of experience in teaching. Was in Baldwin not too long ago and been recently in MCC Central, and we were fortunate enough to steal him to come down here and lead our band. So we're thrilled to have Brian's experience and his leadership and everything. We're just so excited to be in this position to have someone of Brian's talent lead our talented group of musicians here at Mason County Central.
Brian, is the bar high for you after hearing a little bit of that?
Yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of supportive parents and students in the last couple parades, and they're definitely excited to keep the program growing. And I met the former director, Caleb, and talked to him about, transitioning and stuff. Yeah, the kids are excited. They are excited to keep moving forward with the program. And, the bar is set pretty high, but I think it's going to be great. Grow the program, get kids in the band, and yeah, I'm excited. It's been a great, like Jeff said, we had a couple parades already, the Irons Fleet Roast Parade, and then recently the Freedom Festival, and it went great. The kids were great, parents were very supportive, and yeah, really excited.
This is great information to hear, because I would assume both of you, and the reason why we're on and talking with you is because coming up is in just a couple of weeks is another performance for the band, the West Shore Bank Rhythm and Dunes concert series, and you get a chance to kick things off with it prior to the main stage act. But before I even get to that, what band instills in students is something that they can take through their life, and I don't want that to sound like a cliche, like, oh well, this program does the same thing and that program, but there's just something different, Brian, about band students and what they take away from their high school years that just sticks with them and even makes them better individuals over life. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree on that. I've had students say, Mr. Parent, the only reason I come to school is because of band. The experience that that kids get in band. Sometimes it's the only thing that gets them in the door at school. And a lot of kids, I see they go off to college and they're either marching in the marching band or they're playing in their community band. It offers them an opportunity to continue doing things that they love, playing music. And, it's also a good social opportunity for them to meet people and friends. So, yeah, most certainly it's a lifelong skill that they can take, into their adult years. There are people who play professionally who are 80 years old and they still do that to this day. So band it can definitely be a big part of a student's life, both as a young adult and, in adulthood as they go forward, for sure. Yeah.
Well, and they probably remember back to those days in band camp, and everything else that goes along with it. We were on last week with Keith Kuczynski from LHS, and they have, speaking of band camp, they have that right around Rhythm and Dunes Do you as well? What is that like? Is there going to be a week that you and the students and the parents are going to be running around crazy? What's that like?
We're gonna stick with the schedule that Caleb had set up, so it'll be in mid to late August.
Okay.
So there'll be a pre-camp at the school for a few days, and then we're going to be going away. Well, going away locally to Free Soil Camp Douglas. We'll be doing an away camp there for 5 days as well, putting us to the last week of August. So yeah, it'll be kind of crazy. The second to last week and the last week of August is kind of our crazy time for band camp, and then I believe we've got our first game versus Ludington the first week we get back to school. So yeah, we're for all that stuff.
September 5th.
Yep. Running, hitting the ground running for sure. All right, so that brings up then the question: if there's no camp in the summer, how are you herding everybody? How are you getting everybody to together and practice? And what's that been like, especially wearing some new shoes as the new band instructor?
The boosters have helped get the word out about letting kids know, when to get there for the parades and stuff, which we've had a pretty good turnout for. And then I talked with some of the members of the jazz band coming up for Rhythm and Dune. So we're going to be setting up a rehearsal, just kind of get ready for that in the band room, get the kids together so they can play and I can hear them, and make sure that we're prepped for that. So a lot of communication through our band. We have a band app, so it's like a communication app. So we kind of use that to get the word out. We also have our band Facebook page as well. So just a lot of using that and a little bit of word of mouth at this point until I get everything set up for the regular school year. But the kids have been great about communicating things to me and helping me get the word out to get everybody there over the summer, at least for right now.
Absolutely. Superintendent Mount, let's talk about a program. We look at millages, we look at funding for schools and clubs and organizations and everything. Band is one of those that I would assume you feel and the administration feels this needs to continue. It's something that is important to the students, to the community, to the school in general.
Oh, that's no doubt. It's a top priority for us. We believe that, you've already said it very well, how band students, they're wired in a good way. And actually, they actually show, statistics show that it does rewire your brain in a very positive way. And quite often they go off to success. And matter of fact, you're saying it's even more powerful than like coding, for wiring the brain for kids' future success. So it's beyond that, though. We already mentioned the social part of it. The showing up and being a part of something bigger than yourself, the hours that these kids put into. I'm a little disappointed when we go to camp away from here, because they usually, if I'm pointing out my window out here, where they practice is right out my window. And so the first practice of the summer, it's squeaking and squawking and nobody walking in a straight line. And by the time that first game comes around, they have got it down. They're playing beautifully. They're marching in order. And it's so fun watching the growth over that couple of weeks before school starts. And I get to hear it and watch it firsthand right out my window. Unfortunately, when they go off to camp now, which has been the last couple of years, I lose them for a week. So I'm a little disappointed when I don't get to hear them outside my window. But anyway, it's so important. It's such a big part of our school program. We have a rich tradition of strong band here at Mason County Central. We have great partners. Our Scottville Clown Band, obviously, the world renowned, really, and they're a great partner. But we've got this concert coming up with at Rhythm and Dunes. And, I just want to mention at West Shore Bank, I say this often, but I mean it from the core of my heart. It takes a village, right? It takes a village to, raise our children and stuff. And, we have to have a lot of partners in doing that. And West Shore Bank has been, as long as I've been here, at in Mason County for 33 years, but at Mason County Central for 26 years. They've been a big, strong partner with us and our foundation, this Rhythm and Dunes. It's really neat. Deb Kennard, she's the contact that I have there. They're just incredible that they do this for our bands, and that's not just for Mason County Central, but it's also for Ludington. Mason County Eastern benefits from it. They're just taking care of the band kids here at in Mason County, and we couldn't do it without them. Really, in the end, they've raised thousands and thousands of dollars for all of these districts, and it really helps us because some of our kids, they can't all afford an instrument. So we find a way through our partnerships with West Shore Bank and others. And, so a big shout out to West Shore Bank. Thank you so much. Because we couldn't do it without them. Plus, these Rhythm and Dunes concerts are awesome. So I've been to almost all of them, and I love them. So
absolutely. Well, and Brian, I guess that brings me to the question for you is, does it, coming from Baldwin, you've obviously heard of Rhythm and Dunes and the concerts, but now you get a chance to perform and with the students. What is that expectation like for you?
No, I'm excited. Like I said, I was talking to some of the kids who are in jazz band on the 4th of July, and they're excited to perform for it. And they were all on board for getting together and doing a little rehearsal before we go. I'm excited to play for the community. It seems like a great opportunity to raise some money for our program and keep everything moving. Like Jeff said, there's going to be kids in band that maybe can't afford an instrument. Providing those materials and equipment to help the kids be successful in band is important, because band isn't a cheap program to run. So it's great to have everybody come out and donate and support our program. And, I'm really excited to play. I'm excited for the kids to perform.
I think this is good to hear. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot for just a second, if you don't mind. Is there certain songs that you're looking to perform that we can hear prior to the concert?
I just got some music from Caleb as far as what he had set up for music. So I don't have it right in front of me, but they have a whole lineup of songs that they're going to play. And like I said, we're going to get together and do some rehearsing on that. So I have some scores, and I'm excited. Luckily, Caleb did a great job of kind of prepping the kids for the summer, which made my job easier to, kind of step into his role. But I think it's going to go great. I think they have like 12 tunes or something picked out to kind of fill the time. So yeah, I'm excited. So
I think this is going to be great. And the bigger picture, Jeff, with Rhythm and Dunes, raise a lot of money for a great cause, which is the band, which is for instruments and uniforms and everything else that goes along with it. I hate to put you on the spot, but you probably have heard a little bit over the years of what's been invested, how these funds have come in and helped the band.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the tune of around $7,000 for Mason County Central, each year. And so when I say that, I mean it goes toward just that. I mean we have kids, like I mentioned, they can't afford a band instrument, but we don't want that to be the limiting factor. We want them to be a part of something. If they want to be a part of it, we find a way. And that's a great example of, we have a store of instruments, right? But we also have to maintain them. They get banged up over the years and they get used, and you got to buy the reeds for the clarinets and I call it the woodwinds and such. You've got to continue to keep them in good shape too. So we use it for that. Obviously our uniforms, we look pretty darn sharp out there now, and we purchased those in Tom Thomas's last year. It would have been in transition to Caleb's first year, but our band's grown so much that what we bought then, we need more. We need more uniforms. So we're going to put a marching band out there. We need a full set of uniforms for those kids. So, we've had to purchase some more over the years. So it's just, and then just buying the music too itself. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into this, and every penny helps. So we just hope the folks come out, and it's always a packed crowd. They're always very generous and filling the cans that are going around. Our band students and band boosters are carrying around the cans. They fill them, and it's just been awesome. I know the same thing happens when Ludington performs as well, at the other one. And, it's just a great opportunity for our folks to, one, reach out and touch the community in a way and share our music, also to raise some dollars. And, folks come from all over the place to see these things, and they're generous. They put $5-10 in that, coffer going around. Every penny helps, and it goes to a good cause. So, Brian's stepping into a great spot. Caleb has provided a really good foundation for us, really helped with the transition. I'm very pleased with that. But I was so pleased. I walked out of here the other night, and I could hear him in there practicing, in the band room. And I'm like, all right, we're going to be ready for our performances. And so it's pretty neat. And that jazz band group is a talented group of kids. Holy cow. They're awesome. They can almost self-direct, but I'm not gonna take away Caleb and Brian. They do great work, and so it's really cool to hear them.
Yeah, no, I think it's and from what I hear or I've heard over the years, you have a lot of band members between the various groups, and that has grown over the years as well. Is that right?
Well, I would say, yeah. What really hurt was COVID, right?
Mhm.
So when we lost a couple year classes during COVID, because it was hard to have band. Two, we couldn't do the fittings and stuff, so we really had a couple small classes of band kids coming through. But what's coming behind them, in our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade programs is filling the coffer big time. So it is. We lost a couple. You really can't really replace that. Say, hey, by the way, do you want to be in band now? After 2-3 years of a hiatus, kids are hard to grab. But we have a huge group coming up through. They're now in the 8th, 9th, 10th grades, and so we're really experiencing like I said, we need more uniforms just because we're going to have a very large marching band, and it just keeps growing. So, it's been a really good thing. But COVID set back every band program across the state. Just cut a couple years out of there that hurt really badly.
Very true. All right, Brian, you are on the hot seat when it comes to your performances already, basically. But you've got 5,000 to 7,000 people that are going to be in front of you for this. Do you think you'll be more nervous than the students?
I don't think so. I mean, kids are always nervous playing, but like Jeff said, these are a great group of kids, and they're going to be solid players. But I've been doing this for 17 years, and I'm more excited than anything. I've been to Rhythm and Dunes before as like a person in the audience, because like I said, I lived like right in downtown Ludington before I moved to Manistee and worked up in Benzie. So I'm more excited to play in it than anything else, just to be a part of the whole thing, because it is a huge event down there. And it's going to be great to play, it's going to be great to play in front of people that are going to support the program, and, just to let them know, hey, we have kids that enjoy playing, and it's going to be a great great sounding group. And I'm more excited than anything else.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, maybe a little nervous, but
hey, that's okay. That puts us all on our toes, and
sure.
it's always going to be a good performance, no matter what. And to be able to look out in the audience, and especially when we ask those members of the audience that have played in band, have had students in band and such, the hands go up, people stand up, and you are surrounded by your peers, And that's probably a pretty good feeling when it comes to not only West Shore Bank support, but the community support for our local arts, right?
Oh, for sure. It's always, you get parents of kids and like, I was in band, maybe they were at the MCC band, or they say, I was in band in school, or it's, as a band director, everybody pulls out their band stories. I was in band in sixth grade, or I was in band through high school, and we did this and that. And like you said in the beginning, it's an experience that people don't forget, even in their adulthood. They remember band as something special when they went to school. And yeah, you're going to look around and you're going to see all these people that were in band in school, or maybe they're playing in the clown band, or maybe they're playing, at West or something like that, in the community band. And certainly it's going to be a huge supportive community of people that, understand the band culture and understand what that's like to play an instrument and be a part of that. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
By the way, I have to ask this question since you just brought it up.
Sure.
What is the band culture? What is that defined as for all of us that are outside of that window?
Sure. It's all my kids. I think, and band is something different. I listen. Hats off to our other teachers. I couldn't teach a math class. But when we're in band, we're really a team. Sometimes I tell the kids, I say, this is going to be the biggest team that you're going to be on. And one of my mantras that I've gone by, it says, no one sits on the bench in band. We need everybody there. Everybody's important. Everybody plays an important part and a role in band. So working together, understanding that they are important in making the band successful. And as much as it is about teaching a student how to play their instrument, it's also about teaching them a lot of life skills as well. So understanding how to work together as a team, understanding, responsibility and being on time, and being responsible for their role as a musician. It's definitely, a different culture. We rehearse a lot to do one performance, so understanding that there's just a different level of responsibility when it comes to being a student musician. And yeah, sometimes it's hard to explain, but I mean, those are some of the things. Just understanding, your part is important, and if you're not there, the band's going to suffer, and when you are there, the band is going to be successful. And yeah, teaching skills and things like that is it becomes really important as a band member, for sure. Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to your performance on July 26th. You're going to be opening up right there for the West Shore Bank Rhythm and Dunes concert number 1. And I believe it's a 6 p.m. start for you. Is that right? Okay,
Yeah.
6 p.m. And because I know the public's going to see, the 7 o'clock for the main stage act and such, but to be able to see those students perform right there, to be able to see that interaction, as we mentioned a moment ago, with those in the community that stand up, that were part of the band. And they put a lot of time and effort into this. And so we want to be able to see them and we want to be able to support them. And it's also something that just doesn't extend from that 6 o'clock or 45-minute set or 30-minute set or hour set, or however minutes they'll be out performing, as they go throughout the audience with the Culligan water jugs. They're asking for those donations, and it all goes to such a great cause for MCC, MCE, LHS as well. For the band departments there, and I think it just helps kick things off for the fall, for getting excited to go to those performances that you put on, the fundraisers that you do throughout the year, to be able to make sure that you have the travel expenses and band uniforms and everything that goes along with it. So let's all support the Rhythm and Dunes concerts, which ultimately they support you and your students there. So thank you for joining us this morning. I'll say this, if it's okay, Brian. Is there anything that we missed chatting about that you'd like to get out to the community? And then Jeff will have you take the last word this morning, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just also, if you want to, if you're unable to come out to Rhythm and Dunes, we've got our Christmas in July Expo on July 19th at the school. We're also going to be doing a vertical rise type fundraiser in the fall with some other clubs to help continue to support our programs. But I look forward to seeing everybody out there. You know, I'll be hanging around after we perform. So, you know, if you want to come say hi and talk, I'll be around. So thanks.
All right. Sounds good. And Jeff, what do you got?
Well, you know, first off, you know, again, welcome to Brian. His answer about the band culture was spot on, and now you know why we hired him, because he fits into the Mason County Central Spartan culture as well. That, you know, what we believe in, and so spot on. You know, I mean, he probably used that answer in his interview, but I know it comes from the core of what he believes and what we believe. So, you know, shout out, you know, welcome, Brian. Looking forward to, you know, listening to the band and watching them perform on the 26th as well. But also a big thank you to West Shore Bank. The leadership there, you know, has been unbelievable. Their partnership with the community has been, it's unbelievable. These two concerts are huge for the community, but really even more so the funds go toward, they're free, right? Except for if you want to donate to the local bands. My goodness, you know, it's hard to believe, you know, something like this can happen, but, you know, in a community like Ludington and Mason County, and giving back to the bands, couldn't do it without them. It does take a village, and they're a significant part of our village. So thank you, West Shore Bank.
Yeah, for sure. That's such a great partnership, such a great event, and it's costly to put the concerts on, as you know, but the benefit is just outweighs it. And so West Shore Bank is certainly hitting a home run with these concerts. So,
Right on.
Jeff, Brian, thank you so much for taking some time this morning, and we'll look forward to connecting with you and introducing you on the 26th, and looking forward to all of the performances this year, and all of the events that we can help you promote and continue to do great things for and in the community here. So thanks to both of you for joining us.
Lastly, Chris, thanks for also being a part of our village, because we couldn't do this without you putting us on the air and promoting our band, promoting West Shore Bank, promoting Rhythm and Dunes. But thank you, Chris. 102.7 and 99.9. I listen to 99.9, by the way. So
Hey, no, I love it.
that's my thing.
That is good. I'm glad to hear that. We got to get you a country a cowboy hat put on your wall behind you. We'll get
Very good.
well, we appreciate you a lot, and welcome aboard for leading the band into the future, Brian. So thanks for being a part of the conversation this morning.
Thanks.
You got it. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. We'll go to news and weather, and then come back, and we've got some more hits on the way coming up on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits.